The Vatican recently released a study document on the role of the Pope. This comes after 3 years of dialogue.
A new document published by the Vatican is the result of dialogue with non-Catholic churches on a topic that has been a source of division.
In 2024, the release of a controversial papal ecumenical study document, the Bishop of Rome, Primacy and Synodality in the Ecumenical Dialogues and in their responses to the Encyclical Ut Unum Sint, sparks a fierce theological conflict between the papacy and modern-day Protestants. These developments challenge Protestants' liberty of conscience and foreshadow potential persecution for those who refuse to conform. Will the Protestant world awaken to the dangers of compromise before it's too late? The early church, spanning 1st to 3rd centuries, faced severe persecution as a result of prevailing beliefs in supreme authority. Christianity came into conflict with the interests of the Roman monarchy under fierce, debased, and corrupt emperors like Nero. In the early era, death came as a relief for Christians compared to the horrors of cruel torture. The painting Nero's Torches by Polish artist Henryk Siemierski, housed at the National Museum in Krakow, depicts the early Christian martyrs being burned and used as candlesticks. The Christians were accused of causing the Great Fire of Rome in AD 64. Siemierski artwork includes Latin plaques identifying the martyrs as Christians. Christian persecutions were also based on religious differences, particularly with the Roman worship traditions. Alfred John Church, an English classical scholar, observed that under imperial Roman decree, the persecuted were accused of having abandoned the faith of their fathers to adopt a gloomy and odious superstition. Religious differences must have existed because Roman emperors were seen as gods, adhering to beliefs that did not guarantee liberty of conscience. Roman emperors like Nero were so debased and were worshipped as gods. For instance, Domitian, like Nero, he commanded himself to be deified and addressed in letter or in speech, Dominus et Deus Noster, our Lord and God, and like Nero, he became a violent persecutor of both Jews and Christians. Some senior Catholic apologists deny that Emperor Domitian claimed to be God, but evidence from popes and ancient Roman historians like Suetonius confirms he sought divine titles. The evil rage against Christianity was a fulfillment of Christ's word in Matthew 24:9. The events of the early centuries, as aligned with Bible prophecies, highlight the flaws of monarchies with religious agendas, particularly their oppressive attempts to control the liberty of the conscience. The ruthless monarchical episcopacy, where a single person holds primarily religious authority, seen in the early Roman Empire, did not end with it. Besides literary evidence, some monuments bear witness to these cruel horrors. The catacombs, which served as shelters for Christians often accused of being foes of religion, stand as a witness to the persecution by the Roman monarchy. William Henry, a 20th century Canadian Methodist minister, journalist, and author, affirms that the catacombs, which stand to this day, are monuments of the persecuted church. Henry writes that, quote, "The church on the conversion of Constantine emerged from the concealment of the catacombs to the sunshine of imperial favor," end of quote. Some scholars argue that there is little evidence to suggest the catacombs served as Christian hideouts, but at least they agree that martyrs were buried there. The atrocious cruelty driven by the pursuit of supreme authority is exemplified by acts such as Nero's murders of his wife, stepbrother, and mother. While Henry confirms the catacombs were hideouts, he mentions another interesting subject, the conversion of Constantine. Based on the biblical principle that what has been will be again, what has been done will be done again, there is nothing new under the sun. Does the ruthlessness of the Roman Empire and Constantine's conversion have any connection to the new system that succeeded the pagan Rome? Was the conversion favorable to the Christians, as some believe? The spirit of paganism in the Roman Empire forcefully tried to suppress Christianity, but it ultimately failed. However, was there a change in strategy? Did this involve one person with supreme authority? Highlighting the enmity between the Roman monarchy and early Christians is important, as the reasons for their differences, particularly in the context of worship, persisted beyond the early centuries, as evidenced by subsequent developments.